It's now time to discuss whether or not Argentina are clear favorites to win this Copa America. My mouth is dry. Obviously, this is a combined Copa America between North and South America. You got the national teams of the United States, Mexico, Jamaica, Costa Rica, Panama, all joining in with these CONMEBOL nations from, and Canada, by the way. Forgot to mention Canada. Joining in with the CONMEBOL nations to create this, mega American championship. We had a very similar tournament in 2016, the Copa America Centenario. We had the likes of the United States actually reaching the semifinals, getting walloped by Argentina in those semifinals, but we don't discuss that. But we had that happen. We also have a real sort of sense of optimism with this U.S. men's national team at this Copa America, just based on the sheer talented squad that they have. But we're not here to discuss, the United States national team. We're here to discuss Argentina. They're coming off a World Cup win in 2022, almost a little bit in about a year and a half or so ago. And it's they're now here with a lot of similar players, maybe the last dance for some of these players to really, continue to add to the legacy of this group at Argentina, already winning a Copa America, and also, with winning the Copa America and also winning the World Cup. This Argentina, there's a few names that Argentina national team Lionel Scaloni has named in the squad for Copa America that might be doubtful because of injuries. Now they named 29 players, but 3 of them will be cut, and there are 5 names that are fighting for the 2 spots in the team. And so interested to see who the final spot is. There's also a battle between Angel Correa and Valentin Corbani. I'm interested to see how they make the final squad for Argentina. Lionel Messi has just joined the squad, by the way, as they prepare for the Copa America. They play friendly games against against Ecuador and Guatemala to prepare for the Copa America. And they open up their Copa America against Canada. Their group comprises of Canada, Peru, and Chile, which is, 2 teams in Peru and Chile that's really struggled in CONMEBOL qualifiers so far up to this point. And a Canada team that, the team was able to qualify for 2022. They did it remarkably well, dominating in CONCACAF, finishing first. But in terms of over the last year or so, not really been on a strong foot and have had horrible issues with the federation regarding bankruptcy and all that sort. So Argentina, clear favorites to get out of the group. But, when it comes to Argentina and their form entering this European Copa America, they've been very, very good. They won 5 games, but they've also lost a game, and they went on a crazy unbeaten run before the World Cup. But they have, they've shown a little bit of weakness when they lost to Uruguay in World Cup qualifiers, and they lost to Uruguay at the La Bombonera in Buenos Aires, that, the Fortaleza, the fortress of Argentina. Now obviously, they played very well in that game. If you watch it through the 90 minutes, 12 shots to 6, 3 shots on target to 2, controlling 64% of the ball. But, they were chasing the game and all that, and, they showed a little bit of weakness in that game. But I think in this Copa America, I don't think that matters too much. I still think this is a very, very strong team with an identity under Lionel Scaloni. They understand. They did a good job at the World Cup of not playing, or in the Copa America, especially beforehand, they understood some teams that had, they were able to they were willing to play a little bit more compact against certain teams and really rely on individual moments of brilliance from Messi, Julian Alvarez. They were willing to do that. And they kind of changed it up against France, and they went and they took the game by the scruff of the neck and dominated the game. So they're showing multiple abilities, multiple ways that they can go out and win games. And it's very, very impressive. So, yes, I think they have to be clear favorites, but would I bet them or the field? I definitely would bet the field. I think under Dorval Jr., this Brazil national team is a team that's hungry. They have something to prove. When you see what Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo, if they're able to emulate that form that they have for Real Madrid and leading them to the Champions League final, being the front two of Real Madrid that won a Champions League, if they can bring that sort of level to this Brazilian national team with the squad and quality in that team, that midfield, that Premier League midfield has good ball players. Lucas Paquetá, he's going to be playing in this Copa America despite his situation. But Lucas Paquetá, Douglas Luiz, defensively, I think Brazil is a little bit weak, but I think Brazil have always been, in general, good team defensive-wise. Their ability to keep the ball, the Jogo Bonito style of play, the Brazilian way, they're very good at keeping the ball and taking the pressure off the back line. So I think they'll be a threat. I think Uruguay under Uruguay, they've already shown their ability to beat Argentina. They beat them 2-0, and what they're going to be doing under Marcelo Bielsa and the starting 11 that Uruguay has, I think Uruguay has a brilliant starting 11. In my opinion, when you see the team that they can roll out with, I think that should be very concerning if you're looking at it from perspective now. When you look at the teams, the guys that Uruguay has, like a Darwin Núñez and a Palestri, Ugarte, Araujo, Cáceres, Oliveira, Federico Valverde, Jose Jimenez, Rodrigo Bentancur. This is a team with quality. DRS Keta, he's a very, very good player. I think Uruguay should not be slumped with. I think Colombia, with the form that they're entering with a good balance of young energy like Luis Diaz, and then also the experience of a guy like James, who's still part of the setup and this Colombia team, who's been playing very, very good and on a very good run of form in the qualifiers. I think they also a huge threat at this Copa America. The U.S. men's national team, with the squad that they have a chance. And also a team I think is being slumped on is Ecuador. Ecuador, what they accomplished at the last World Cup, they didn't get out of the group stage, but they played some remarkable football. What they did in that opening game, just completely suffocating the host nation Qatar. And then what they did in that next game against Netherlands, I think, in my opinion, dominating them through the 90 minutes. It finished 1-1, but they played far the better, the superior football, and they made Netherlands, play in their own half. That's how brilliant that they were, and they created so many chances in that game, I think. And then they went on to lose against a Senegal team that was just a little bit more experienced, was a little bit more knack to get into over these fine line moments. I think an Ecuador team with more experience, yes, and Ener Valencia, who's a little bit, not as in peak form as he was in that last year World Cup, but still, he's still there. He's still part of the setup. Don't sleep on this Ecuador national team. I think there's plenty of talent in teams at this Copa America, and it's not going to be a breeze for Argentina. And I definitely think there will be a more likely outcome is another team wins this Copa America rather than Argentina wins this Copa America. And there is huge pressure and huge motivation for this Brazilian national team. The amount of dominance Argentina has had in the last two international windows, winning a World Cup and winning a Copa America, there's going to be a huge force, a huge pressure on this Brazilian national team to change it around. Because one thing that will not be acceptable is, let alone them winning three, them winning one is not enough, but them winning 3 straight international tournaments, 2 Copa Americas and a World Cup, that's so unacceptable for Brazil's most fierce international rivals. And I think they are really gonna get this Copa America. I really do. I am a Brazil fan, so maybe I'm speaking from the heart. But I think eventually, because Argentina at the same time, Argentina are not going to be able to go into this game against Brazil, and they're not going to be able to dominate possession and outclass Brazil. Because in terms of talent, in terms of ball players, I think Brazil has the better team, the more talent, the better squad in general. I just think Argentina has more experience, more knack, they're more clinical, and they're set up much better by Lionel Scaloni. Like, if you go back to that last World Cup, Brazil were up 1-0, and they had 7-8 guys on the other side, on the attacking half of the pitch, and they get caught out on the counter for the equalizing goal. With a manager like Lionel Scaloni and his ability to be very good at in-game strategizing and being a little bit more of a pragmatic manager, he will never allow that to happen. So I think what the biggest difference between Argentina and Brazil over the past few years has been level of coaching. And I think Dorval Jr. comes in and he gives a little bit different feel to this Brazilian national team. So yeah, I think Argentina are the favorites. Don't get me wrong, but clear favorites. There are the clear favorites, but are they? Would I bet the field? Would I bet them over the field? Absolutely not. Thank you for tuning into the GSMC Soccer Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you once again, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of